Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. This video will be a continuation of my last video when it comes to substitute teaching, but I will focus on elementary school specifically, a few tips, and what to expect when entering the classroom. Elementary school, they're still at a young and innocent age, so they want to listen. So the first tip I would say is to manage the classroom. Classroom management is big, because these kids don't want to get in trouble. A saying I always say is 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me. That works everywhere. Anything you can do to control the classroom so they know there's consequences if they don't listen, easier to get through the younger students than it is when they get older. So classroom management is one. Do the best you can to manage your classroom from the morning, so that way the rest of the day goes smoothly for you. So another thing you have to expect is that you're going to have the same kids all day long. Elementary school don't switch classes. Sometimes 5th and 6th might switch to class across the hall for a certain subject, but majority of the time you have the same kids all day. So try to remember their names, try to look at each desk, look at their name tags, try to put the name to the face, and it's really helpful towards the end of the day, especially when you remember their name. It makes them feel special, like, okay, like you had a bond with me today, you know who I am. Some kids you have to constantly talk to, so that's how you remember their name. Sometimes they're constantly want to help, so you remember their names. But try to remember everyone's names because it'll just help you and be way more easier throughout the day. So I also mentioned switching classes. These kids don't switch classes, so you'll be teaching all subjects when it comes to elementary. You might have one subject you won't teach. You might switch for science or history, maybe 5th and 6th grade. But majority of the time, kindergarten through 6th grade, you're teaching them every single subject. So try to familiarize yourself with it. I mentioned in a previous video about arriving early. Arrive early, look for the plans. If the teachers don't leave answer keys, you have to familiarize yourself with the material. Make sure you write yourself a little cheat sheet, especially if it's math or if it's science, just so if they ask questions, you know what you're talking about. So I always like to go over the material before I begin to teach it. So what to expect in elementary is when they switch to go to specials, lunch, and recess. You have to get them in line and send them to each location. They can't just go on their own. You have to get them in line, take them to lunch, or take them to recess, or get them in line and take them to and from specials. So always keep that in your head. The older kids are more independent, but the younger group, you have to keep them all together and keep them on the line. What I like to do is count my students. I count them, especially if I don't know all their names, I like to count them. So I know, okay, this many went to lunch, or this many went outside, or whatever it is, especially if it's like a fire drill. If you don't know all their names, it's really good to count. Even though there's an attendance sheet, if you're not familiar with them, you're not going to remember. So always count heads when you're leaving the classroom. Remember, 6th grade and under still have recess. So make sure you're prepared to have recess duty. What if it's raining? Prepare to be indoors, have a whole bunch of chaos and mess and loudness because you have inside recess duty. So always be prepared. I actually like to bring something, especially if it's a rainy day, because you're not on break, but the kids are indoor having free time. So that's your free time too. So I would always bring something to do. It's about, 30 minutes of recess. If you're outside, remember, you have to be watching the other kids. There are some teachers that want to talk to you, but the main thing is having teachers all around the yard. Make sure it's not like 4 or 5 teachers in one area and no one's watching someone, across the blacktop. I've seen that happen a lot where I've seen huddles of teachers and I'm like, no one's over here, no one's over there. It should be a body spread out so everyone can see what's going on in case there's a fight, in case someone gets hurt. Just try to spread yourself out during recess. Try to isolate yourself from the other teacher. So, just in case anything happens. I love about elementary, they're still young, they're still innocent. So one thing you can expect is if you're substituting on a holiday. When it comes to Valentine's Day week, Christmas week, even Thanksgiving, Easter, there's always some kind of party, some kind of something going on, end of the year activities. So it's always, that's another fun thing to expect. Expect cookies, cupcakes for birthdays, donuts, anything fun. That's something great to expect, to have, a party. It's fun. The kids love it. So I'm always like helpful and hands-on when it comes to those things, whether it's wiping down tables, passing out the napkins, passing out the goodies. It's a really fun time, and that's something you can expect when it comes to substitute teaching elementary school, because the older kids, they're over it by 7th, 8th grade. When it comes to the birthdays too, I try to make sure I organize something. Even the holidays, I always try to make sure I'm organized, because sometimes the teachers will know they're out and they'll say, it's Ryan's birthday today. He's supposed to bring cupcakes at this time. Please distribute the cupcakes. And then the time might not always work perfectly. Sometimes we might start earlier, but I try to make sure that's their special day, and I try to make sure I don't mess it up. So I'll get done a little bit earlier to get the cupcakes settled, just to make them feel special on their day, because the teacher might do more for them, but I didn't expect to be here on that day. There was a time a teacher was out for Valentine's Day, but I heard she was a call out like 25 minutes before, so it was super last minute. She called out and it was Valentine's Day. All the kids brought her these beautiful Valentines. They had a Valentine's Day party. Parents came in. So I just had to improvise and do the best that I could, because she was planning to be there and she couldn't. So I did the best I could as far as getting the parents together, organizing everything, make sure everything was organized and ready for the party. A lot of the students that brought her in Valentine's Day gift, I had them do construction paper and just sign a card, and we like labeled all her gifts. We laid them around, and it was really nice. I left her a nice note. Teachers love notes. Left them a nice note and just let her know, like, all these kids had Valentines for you, but it was like overflowing her desk. So I made it really nice on the back table. Everyone signed a card and left her gift for the next day. Also with the elementary kids, it's nice to connect with all kids, to be honest. Try to connect with them. You never know when you're going to come back. They're probably going to tell their teacher they love you. Please get them back. And that helps you get requests the next time the teacher's out. There's always a great chance and good timing for you to play games with the kids. Play 7-Up. Play 4 Corners. Play anything you can play with them just to get them connected with you. And so they remember you. They remember your name all the time. So when they see you in the hallway, they can always wave. They can say hi. And it just gives you a relationship with the student and also with the school, because the principal will see it, other teachers will see it, and the front desk will see it. And it's really only going to benefit you. It's going to give you a positive report with the teacher, with the school, and they're only going to want you to come back. Those are just a few tips to help you when it comes to substitute teaching elementary school and what to expect. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. I'll see you later.